And last but not least, we've got woody fruity fragrances. This is the 10th and final woody fragrances video for you guys. Are you getting bored of it? I'm sure you got bored of it. Some of you said, oh my god, how many can you do? Some of you kept saying do more. So I've done 10. This is the 10th one. Woody fruity fragrances coming right up. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm talking about woody fragrances, but mostly woody fruity fragrances. If you haven't caught the videos on the channel, please go catch them. There's an actual playlist with every single one of them in the playlist, and this is the 10th video. Started out with a basic woody fragrances video, then we did woody amber, woody spicy, woody leather, woody citrus, woody aromatic, woody chypre, woody aquatic. Did I do woody citrus? Yeah, we did woody citrus, and then finally we did woody powdery, woody musky, and today it's woody fruity. Let me know if you have a favorite woody fruity fragrance. Put a comment down below, and let's get started with the list. We're starting off with Commodities Juice. This is it right here. It's a brand spanking new release that I'm still a bit uncertain about. I like the idea of it, but as I was saying in another video, it's very fruity, but it doesn't act very juicy as the name suggests. So I wanted a little bit more juice, but it's very dry, but very, very fruity and woody. So maybe perhaps it's all the woods that are in here creating more of a dry experience. But it's raspberry pulp, strawberries, Bulgarian rose, cyclamen, amberwood, and rhubarb. What kind of experience do you guys get? I think I'm going to air a video on this soon. I'll compare this to the other two and let you know a little bit more about it and do a review on this because I really love the brand. I discovered it in 2013. I'm a big fan of it since they were running out of LA, then they moved it to London, and now it's in New Jersey with the Euro Perfumes folks. But I was really anticipating Juice quite a bit, but it's a bit of a letdown, unfortunately. But stay tuned and let me know if you're a fan of Juice. Do you get juicy or do you just get fruity woody? Put a comment down. Moving on to a house I've never spoken about on the channel. I discovered the actual store in Paris earlier this year. I posted about this on Instagram. This is Dite and it's Miles. Look at this beautiful bottle. Very detailed bottle. This is a woody fruity fragrance targeted to men, I believe, or maybe it's unisex, I can't remember. But it's quite fruity and woody and a bit ambery as well. It's so delicious and not very expensive. And for something like this, beautifully made, I think it's highly recommended. It's an older house dating back to the early 1900s and they're still running in Paris. This is Gaiac wood, cashmere wood, dried fruits, plums, grapes, immortelle, white honey, vanilla, lime, and geranium. For me, it kind of wears fresh, not overwhelming, but you definitely get the fruitiness, but it's nicely mixed in with an amberiness. And for sure, there's definitely a lot of woods here as well. And it's a bit powdery. It's a bit sweet, but it's not like overwhelming. It says there's honey in the notes, but it doesn't come off like extremely sweet. It's just a nice balance and very nice fragrance. I fell in love with it and I bought it at their store in Paris because I was staying just around the corner and never seen it. And I've stayed in that neighborhood for several years and I discovered the house. Hopefully you guys get to try it. It's Dite and it's Miles. I hope that's how you say the name of the brand. But the next fragrance going to the house of Jeroboam. It's Vespero, this one right here. This is an apple fruity woody fragrance. So delicious. You really experience the juiciness of the apples in this and it's almost like green apples for me. It acts very green apple-y, very juicy and crisp. Featuring apples and leather. There's musk, there's pink grapefruit, amber woods, patchouli, geranium, bergamot. Very fruity, very juicy, very fresh and also woody with some musk. Definitely one of the best from this house, and Jeroboam fragrances are extrait de parfum, so if you like longevity, this is definitely perfect, and also they're small bottles so you can carry them around quite easily. So that's Jeroboam Vespero. So it's interesting, when I was putting together the notes for this video, it turned out to be that there was a lot more woody fruity fragrances with apples in the notes rather than other fruits. Like this next one's also apples. Going to the house of Parfums of Marly, it's Greenlee. You guys fans of this one? There's been a really big interest and hype around this fragrance, and I've been a fan of it since day one. I really loved it. It's not anything groundbreaking or earth-shattering as far as the smell goes, but it's actually quite nicely done, and I consider it one of the best from Parfums de Marly. It's green apples once again, but this is even juicier than the previous fragrance. You really experience the drippiness, like when you wear it, it's so wet, the apples juiciness in here. So it's green apples, oak moss, musk, cashmeran, petitgrain, bergamot, pomerose, and amber wood. Really nicely done. There's some green touches of the petitgrain in here. Of course, the juiciness of the bergamots in addition to the juiciness of the apples together. Very juicy experience. I love that about it. This is more juicy to me than commodity juice. And juice is called juice, but it's not juicy. And Greenlee is juicy, so go figure that. But Greenlee is amazing. If you haven't tried it, please do. So up next, go into the house of Liquid Imaginaire, an underrated French house, and this is Bloody Wood. Are you guys familiar with this one? So this one I first discovered when Barney's was carrying this line. Sadly, Barney's is gone, but glad it's, you know, available and out there and it's selling at stores because it's a pretty nice, very underrated house with very unique fragrances for sure. It's very, very fruity. It's also very, very woody, and it has that wine smell to it. Like it smells like red wine. If you've ever drunk wine, I'm a big fan of wine. I drink it quite a bit. It's one of my favorite alcoholic beverages. It's just a really great taste. And this smells like you're drinking the stuff, but you're wearing it, kind of a thing. Does that make sense? So it's got the fruits, lots of fruits, red wine, wine lees, oak barrel. You really do experience these. And the fruits vibe in here are things like the red fruits, like cherries, raspberries, and there's also rose in here. In addition of that, more fruits and violet touches, so it's a bit like candied. Really, really great. It really smells like when you walk into the winery and you go in there where the barrels are, and it's kind of like a cave, and you smell the barrels. You kind of smell the fruits and the wine and the fermentation. That's right here. It's so good. Really, really great fragrance. So that is Liquid Imaginaire's Bloody Wood. The next fragrance is Nichané's Hachivat. Got to put this one here. It's a really great example of a fruity, woody fragrance. A bit screechy woods also, really sharp, a bit metallic, but really beautiful, really amazing. I think this is really, really great. And it also lends itself to layering with other fragrances like their fragrance, 100 Silent Ways. But this is pineapple with oak moss, grapefruit, woodsy notes, bergamot, patchouli, earthy, really classy, elegant fragrance for me. It's very dressy, or you dress it up and dress it down. And I like the pineapple in this. It's not uber ripe, so it's a bit on the tart side, a bit astringent, and it's nicely meshed with all the other notes together. I love this one. It's really, really great. Easier to wear, but still classy, dressy, but also dressed down. So it's Hachivat by Nichané. Check it out if you don't know it. I'm going to speak about two fragrances that are similar to one another. It's from the house of Frappin, 1270 and 1270 Extreme. They're both about similar style. They're basically one's in a kind of a flanker of the other. It doesn't really come off as extreme as it makes it sound like it would be. Also, the extreme is a bit more focused on fresh fruits, whereas the original is focused on dried fruits, or more like holiday fruits, Christmas fruits. For me, Frappin's 1270 is very much an example of holiday experience with boozy notes and woods and dried fruits and fruity kind of holiday fruits kind of a vibe. It's also got like a fruitcake kind of an experience in here, but super delicious. Definitely very, very warm, spicy, and very fruity, and also very, very woody. And it does remind of the holidays for sure. I almost feel like I'm drinking cognac or something when I wear this fragrance, and I'm like eating some kind of a fruit cake. That's the kind of experience I get with 1270. And on the other hand, 1270 Extreme, it's kind of similar. The fruits have been replaced. The holiday idea is replaced. And they've added fresh fruits to it. And it acts more like you can wear it in summertime, even though it's called Extreme. It doesn't act extreme to me. It's more of a fresh experience. Fresh fruits experience. Just remove the cognac idea, because this is, after all, a cognac brand. Frappin is a cognac brand that also has fragrances, but for me the 1270 original is more of a cognac. This is more of a amber, woody, fruity kind of an experience, but more about the fresh fruits. Both of them are good. I kind of like to wear the 1270 Extreme more in the summertime and the original in the holidays, you know, the winter time. So 1270 and 1270 Extreme. Let me know if you're fans of those two fragrances, and which do you prefer over the other. All right, next fragrance, we are talking about a house called Hunk, and this is 002 Barman, this one right here. And the fragrances are all inspired by the male archetypes. So this is the Barman. I've got a video on the channel with Andy you can go watch about this house and learn about their fragrances. For me, Barman is one of the best from the house, and I really like the way the fragrance smells. It's mostly a woody, fruity fragrance. And what does a Barman do? Creates cocktails. So it's a wooden bar and it's fruity drinks kind of a thing. It's lime, sweet orange, fruity brandy base, hay, helichrysum, tonka beans, Texas cedarwood, ISO super, ambroxan, and patchouli. For me, there's a major plummy vibe about this one. It's a really nice balance of the plumminess and the fruitiness of the plums and also the woodiness of the bar. But really wonderful. Slight booziness comes in as well because of that fruity brandy base. But if you like the idea of plums in fragrances, definitely try 002 Barman from the House of Hunk. I feel like their fragrances can be a little out there, but Barman is really, really great. One of the best from that house. But moving on to the House of Sospiro, it's Opera Grande. The fragrances of Sospiro are really intense experiences, and I'm a big fan of Dolce Melodia. If you haven't heard about that one, please go check that one out. This is definitely one of their intense fragrances. In fact, all of the fragrances are. It used to be part of Xerjoff and they separated. And they do have some really great fragrances. This is fruity notes, cedarwood, leather, ylang ylang, Turkish rose, ambergris, patchouli, vanilla, vetiver, musk, and nutmeg. The fruity notes are non-distinct for sure, but definitely there's a fruity vibe here. You'll really notice it. It's nicely blended where they don't really stand out. So you're not really going to experience a lot of prominence with the woods that are in here, but definitely comes off very fruity, mixed in with the woods for sure. And then leather comes in as well to give you that leathery vibe against the woods and also the fruits. Along the way, there's floral touches, some muskiness and earthiness as well. But overall, really nice composition for the experience of fruits and woods together. Let me know if you've tried this one, Opera Grande. That is from the House of Sospiro. Sounds like an Italian brand, right? We've got another Italian brand here. This is from the House of Lorenzo Pezzaglia, Evil Angel, aka 2809. What a name, right? This is an interesting name. But again, Lorenzo Pezzaglia fragrances are so dense. Sometimes they have the concentration at 40% and then even more. So they wear so sticky heavy. You gotta spritz just a little and you'll be fine with them. But you know, I like this smell. It's a bit addicting. It's a lot of fruits and woods together, and it's a great experience. But it's overwhelming, so be careful about that. But this has fruity notes, tropical fruity notes, mint, citruses, rum, vanilla, bourbon vanilla, coconut, ISOE super, cedarwood, sandalwood, whiskey. And with this house, they list so many notes, and you really experience it because they're so concentrated, so heavy, so dense. A little goes a long way. They're extremely oily, and they have that kind of a sticky feel. And you got that right there. But they also come off overwhelmingly sickly sweet sometimes. But here, for some strange reason, it's a nice balance. They don't have too much of that sweetness in here. And I feel like there's enough woods to balance out the woods and the fruits. It also goes a bit tropical and then also boozy at the same time. Very unique smell. I've been really enjoying this one, and I highly wanted to recommend it here as a great recommendation from this house. But just be warned, the fragrances are so intense, so overwhelming, you've got to use caution when you're using them. But this is Evil Angel, aka 2809, from the House of Lorenzo Pezzaglia. Let me know if you're a fan of that one. A few more fragrances left. We've got a fragrance from the House of Rosendo Mattu next. It's number 8. Let me know if you're familiar with that one. So this is a fragrance that was not a love at first sniff. When I first experienced it at Exxon's, I was like, this is strange. But I kept coming back to it, and I'm addicted to the way it smells. It smells quite delicious now. I feel like the reason I didn't react positively to it because there were fresh fruits contrasted with warm spices, and I felt like that combo didn't really work for me, but then it does. It's pineapple, apples, citruses, pear, there's amber here, vanilla, cedar, gaiac, vetiver, rose, patchouli, and iris, and it smells really, really great, but a bit confusing at first. Was thinking, God, do I like this or do I not like it? but it grows on you and you get addicted to it. It's really great combination of fruits and woods, and of course ambery touches. It's Rosendo Matu number 8. Let me know if you've tried that one. This next one was recently featured in Mystery Box, and I can't believe how good it is. This is another fruity fragrance from the house of Kajal. It's Icon. They've got quite a bit of fruity fragrances now. Really, they do. This has become a favorite of mine, and it's actually a really great fresh take on fruits and woods. It's pineapple, ginger, passion fruit, mandarin orange, jasmine, vanilla, vetiver, pralines, black pepper, musk, sandalwood, and patchouli. So it settles down to an ambery, warm, earthy, woody experience, but up top it's so fresh, it's so invigorating. It is a juicy experience of fruits, and I like that. Something that's very fresh up top when it starts, developing into something a bit more dense, a bit more intense, but really wonderful combo of all the notes together. Maybe might come off a bit like Aventus. I don't think it's that. It's not that idea either, because it's not only pineapple, we've got passion fruit here. So it's kind of a combo of the two. And of course, Aventus doesn't smell like passion fruit at all. But you kind of get somewhat of a fresh vibe like that. But eventually, obviously, it's getting warm and woody when it's drying down. So Icon from the house of Kajal. And then we're going to end the list with this fragrance from the house of Etalibre Orange. It's I Am Trash. Are you familiar with this one? So the story behind this is really great. They have these upcycling ways of gathering the notes that they're using in here. And then, of course, it actually smells really great. It's apples once again, very juicy green apples. At least I get green apples with this one. Combined with ISOE Super, which is cedarwood, sandalwood, synthetic molecule. There's also rose here, akigala wood, cedar, and sandalwood. So not only do they have ISOE Super, they also have cedarwood and sandalwood. And akigala wood, which is kind of like a patchouli. It's a Givaudan perfumer most likely. So it's a really, really great fragrance. Just light floral touches, mostly about the fruits and the woods experience. And it's nicely done. It wears great. It's perfect for summertime or autumn, because the woods in here, there's enough of it that I feel like it's perfect to wear in the autumn as well. But it's so fresh with the juiciness of the apples and a little bit of the rosiness from the rose. Really great offering. It's I Am Trash from the house of Etalibre Orange. And that is the last fragrance for you guys. So I'm going to start another series soon, but this is the last video here in the series of woody fragrances. We've done 10. Hopefully you caught all of them. If you haven't, please go catch them. There's a playlist. You can watch them back to back. I have it linked in the info box. But let me know your thoughts on these fruity, woody, or woody, fruity fragrances. Put a comment down below so I can find out. Is there another one that I should check out? Another woody, fruity fragrance that you recommend? Let me know. I'd like to check it out. Either way, guys, thanks so much for watching today. I appreciate you tuning in to watch these videos of woody fragrances, this series. And again, if you didn't catch them, please go catch the playlist so you can watch them back to back. If you have any questions or comments, please list below. Please like this video. Please share it. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye.